feel that peace? Can you feel it pervade your very being? Breathe into it now and move more directly and deliberately to that still place within. Let the breath take you there, to that inner sanctuary, beyond the voice of fear, inflexibility, doubt. Let the breath take you to that still place where faith lives, where love resides, where our inner strength is anchoring us for all that is before us. So as we breathe and let go, we feel our shoulders fall from around our ears. And that signals the rest of our body to cascade into relaxation, to move into total tranquility as we pause and wait in the stillness of the silence, in the silence. Let your next breath take you even deeper. And rest there, beyond intellect. Rest there in your commitment to being your greatest self, in your dedication to bringing your greatest self to the world. Open yourself to that sacred vow of your soul's knowing as we rest again in the stillness of the silence. dedicated to that sacred vow of the soul to be our best self in the world. We bring that commitment with us now back to this time and place in consciousness, aware again of our position in our seat in our environment, aware again of the sounds around us, the temperature of the air touching our skin, the sensations and emotions we are experiencing in our body, and that sacred gift of silence that allows us to be our best self. Take a deep breath, hold it, and release. One more deep breath in, hold it, and release. And one more deep, deep breath, hold it, and release. And now bring your attention up behind the back of your eyes and vigorously rub your hands together and place your warm hands over your eyes to adjust to the light. And draw your hands down. Committed to be and do that which is yours to do and be in accord with your sacred soul vow. Namaste.
Let's start a club of all the people who have already cried once today. Anyone want to raise your hand if a tear came to your eye? That means church is happening. Church is in the house. How can I love you more? Did you feel that when you put your hand over your own heart? Did you feel that even if you didn't know the person sitting next to you, how sweet that concept is to reach out to another human being, maybe one that is beloved to you, maybe one you don't even know, and to say, how can I love you more? Did you have the thought of how beautiful it is to have someone say that to you? Did you have the thought of someone that you might would like to have them say that to you? Like, can I just line a couple of you guys up and could you just ask me that question? Because I got some things to say about how you could love me more. That would work. But really, how can I love you more? What an amazing question to ask of ourselves and of each other. That is treating the world and ourselves as if we are in the midst and the presence of the beloved. Because in truth we are, no? We are saturated in the midst and in the presence of the beloved. And the more we see the beloved in everything, the more that truth comes so alive for us. It tethers our eyes to the presence of God and the presence of love all around. Everyone knows the golden rule. It is treat others as one would like to be treated, right? There's also the platinum rule, right? Which is treat others the way they would like to be treated. Imagine that concept. Treat others the way they would like to be treated, because we're not all the same, are we? We're all custom-made, unique individual expressions of the light. So think of those shifts in consciousness. Think about that merging of the golden rule and the platinum rule. Think if we made a commitment when we were born on this planet to merge those two, to treat others always at least as good as we'd like to be treated, and to also be constantly and continually presencing that question, how can I love you more? How would you like to be treated? Imagine the side roads, the back roads that the ego would take when we activate that practice. Teilhard J. Chardin said, someday after we have mastered the winds, the waves, the tides of gravity, we will harness for God the energy of love. Then for the second time in history, in the history of the world, we will have discovered fire. for the second time in the history of the world, we will have discovered fire. That sacred tool of creation, that tool of transformation that empowers. So where do we look for that fire? Where do we begin? Where do we begin with that concept of loving more, of bringing more, being more to self and others? Think of someone who knows you best. Allow them to come to mind. Think of someone who is closest to you. Think of your longest friend. Think of your greatest confidant. Now, with all of those people that came to mind, did you consider yourself? Did you consider you? You are around you for the most time in your life. You have the opportunity with you to be the longest and greatest friend to yourself. You are the closest to you. You know the you that is you more than anyone could ever know. So then we ask the question, where do we start? What's the answer? We start with you. We start with me. We start within. In one of my very, very favorite books by Paul Ferrini called I Am the Door, it says this: the experience of unconditional love begins in your heart, not in someone else's. Don't make your ability to love yourself conditional on someone else's ability to love you. Your attempt to find love outside of yourself always fails because you cannot receive from another something you have not given to yourself. Think about that for just a second. You cannot receive something you have not given to yourself. You cannot be something or give something you haven't demonstrated or mastered. Think for a moment of a relationship that you'd like to see grow. That you may say, I just wish you could. Could you give me this? Could you do this? And then just for a moment, notice, does that person give it to themselves? If you're asking for comfort, do they know how to comfort themselves? If you're asking for them to be standing with you in certain times or in certain ways in your life, whatever it is, your laundry list of how it would be great if, are they able to manifest that and to create that in amazing ways for themselves? Sometimes when we ask that question, we come to a realization that no, they haven't learned to demonstrate that for themselves. So how can I keep asking them to be that with me? And we begin to look more closely within. The degree to which we have it is the degree to which we can give it. To care for, to encourage, to treat, to delight those along our path on our journey. One of probably many of our favorite prayers is the prayer of St. Francis. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. And where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. And it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. I've been immersed lately in divine sacraments. I have had christenings and weddings and been invited into that sacred place of vows. Have you noticed that in life, on this human journey and in the current culture that we're experiencing, we make these commitments of a christening or a blessing or a marriage or a holy union. We make the commitment, the vow, to presence someone in those special circumstances. the most special of people in our lives, we make a vow, right? Can you think of any other time we do that with any other person? We do it with our partner, right? And we do it with our children. Is there any other ritual that we have? Is there any other commitment we make? Not so much, right? But if we practice the presence and beholding the presence of the divine in everyone, doesn't it seem fitting to make a vow to all of our brothers and sisters on the path, to all who presence us, to all who walk with us, in fact, to all of humanity, to anyone we encounter? Wouldn't that be practicing the principles? To say, this is my commitment to how I am intending to show up. Now, we know we may fall short at times, but if we know what our vow is, then something else comes into play. Rather than being tossed and turned with the tides of relationship and the tides of the world, we become tethered to something. We become tethered to a commitment, but a commitment that's not contingent on how other people treat us, a commitment that's contingent upon how we agreed to show up, who we agreed to be. And as Gerda said, when we make a commitment, when we really make a commitment, providence moves in. Providence moves in, and all sorts of things that may not have otherwise happened, happen. Has anyone worked at all with the Landmark Forum or Byron Katie work? Yeah. You know, you can tell a person that's done that work because they have a vow with themselves. They have a commitment, and they hold themselves accountable to a different degree than is normal or ordinary. They hold themselves accountable to a degree that's extraordinary because they check against themselves, right? And when we do that, we have created, in a way, a wedding with the divine, a christening, a baptism with ourselves and our highest concept of the divine. And we work and strive to, no matter what shows up in front of us, hold that commitment, nourish that commitment, grow that commitment. In Jeremiah 31:3, it says, "The Lord appeared to us in the past, saying, I have loved you with an everlasting love. I have drawn you with loving kindness." I have drawn you. We are drawn in the image of loving kindness, of divine love, an everlasting love. And when we engage in the power of ritual and engage in the power of reflection and begin with ourselves, we can manifest that actual architecture. It's been said many times by many different people in many ways, from Ginger Rogers to Peter Marshall to Alexander Hamilton, stand for something or you'll fall for anything. They all said it. You can't figure out who the real one is. It's debate. Someone saying Jimi Hendrix. Who knows? No. But stand for something or you'll fall for anything. When we make a commitment to a partner, to a love, we stand in a commitment, don't we? And we ask for witnesses. We ask in front of the whole spirit of life, please bear witness to this commitment. And please move in to help me and help us in all ways to fulfill this commitment. When we have a child, we bring all of ourselves into that commitment and say, sweet Spirit, please rush in myriad ways to support this commitment, this vision. So are we willing to make this commitment within ourselves to the greater good of all humanity? If you are, I invite you into something today. You didn't know, but you're getting married. I figured if I've been to a lot of weddings lately, you can. A vow is a pledge, an oath, a sacrament. We make one because it helps us stay in alignment with that which we would like to manifest, with that which we would like to choose for ourselves. It becomes then more than about someone else. It becomes truly about us. It becomes a place where we can support ourselves and hold ourselves accountable to higher values. and release the ego's idea of projecting, blaming, separating. It takes it out of the field about being conditional and into the field of spirit. It's easier to make our wafflings, our lack, our weakness about the world around us and the so-called problems in it, about each other, about our relationships, about our work life, fill in the blank. But what is extraordinary is to make the way we show up about our God, about our commitment. Imagine that, a world where everyone made a vow. You've been called, I have been called, we have all been called into the lives of those around us. Who are we to them? Who are we to ourselves? Do we take it as a sacred service and a sacred charge? Everyone we pass by, every moment with the self. Do we see it as sacred? Do we take it as a calling? In wedding vows, we often hear to understand and to delight you, to console you. What are your vows? I invite you to take out of your bulletin, you got a sheet when you came in that says my vow. If you don't have a pen or a pencil with you, it's in the seat pocket in front of you. There should be a little pencil. And if you're online, you can find this on the Rev E page in the top right-hand corner, so you can download it. Not sure how you do that while you're watching the live stream, but I bet you can figure it out. So you have a little sheet that says my vow. On the back of it, if you would just flip it over right now on the blank side, as Michael and Terry give us some mood music to open that heart space, I want to begin with a few questions. So this is just some journaling on the back. I'm going to give you a few questions. Before I give you the questions, just take a look up here to where it says my vow. This is an example of the vows that people say to each other when they get married. I vow to you from this day on, I choose you, to live with you and laugh with you, to stand by your side, to be joy in your heart, and food to your soul, to bring out the best in you always, to seek the wisdom to take the first step back in moments of conflict, to see your greatness and invoke your light. I will love you and honor you in good times and bad, enjoy, console, and delight you, give thanks for you always, and cherish you with my whole being from this moment forward. You have an opportunity today to write your vows. On the back side, we'll begin with these questions to just allow you space to have anything that may be important to you come to mind. Here's the first question. I want more, and you fill in the blank. I want more of, it might be in life, in the world, in relationships. I want more. This is your journaling on the back. I want more. Love is, fill in the blank. Life is meant to be. Life is meant to be. People should, and fill in the blank. You can let it be automatic. Don't overthink it. I believe in. I am grateful for. What is it that you value? I am grateful for. I give. What do you give? So uniquely, so well, so beautifully you. I give. And I wish. And when you're ready, I invite you to turn over that paper and write your vows. The vows that represent your commitment to yourself and to greater humanity, to the highest nature of all life. Your wedding with the beloved, with the divine. And how we can love more.
How can I love you more? How can I be kinder? How can I be there for you when you're needing me? Oh, the answer is worth waiting for. You never have to find your way alone. How can I love you more?
As you continue writing, just let it flow.
Love you more. How can I be kinder?
Let it flow with grace and ease.
How can I be there for you when you're needing me?
Welling up from your deepest intentions, your highest thought.
The answers worth waiting for.
Knowing you have all the infinite support of the universe.
You never have to find your way alone.
Supported, surrounded, uplifted.
How can I love you more?
Feel free to continue writing if you're still working on your vows. Know that as you have stepped forth in commitment, that commitment expands out from you as a field of consciousness, a field of invitation, a field of support. In 1 Corinthians, it says, love is patient, love is kind. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. We're born of this love. We are born of this vision. In Isaiah 62:5, it says, as a bridegroom rejoices over his bride, so will your God rejoice over you. So will the highest knowing of God love, of God mind, of ultimate divine source rejoice in this high intention. How can I love you more? When we ask that question, there's only one more answer. We've taken a powerful step forward today with a vision, a vow, there's only one more answer of how can I love you more? And that's our collective power. So I invite you to take a moment to call someone to mind in prayer. That is one of the most powerful ways we can expand our consciousness of love. So today our prayer is a healing prayer. Maybe you have something going on with your body. Maybe there's someone that you know that has been experiencing a health challenge. I invite us with our fullest intention to take a deep breath and open up to knowing that we are immersed in an infinite field of God consciousness. And as we hold those we have in prayer with us right here and right now, we know this truth to be made manifest. Together, your body is infused and sourced with divine light. This light is pure and perfect wholeness. It has no opposite, and no thing stands against it. As we hold to this truth, we know your healing is rapid and completely supported by the intelligent life within and spirit all around. God is right here, right now, expressing powerfully as the luminous activity of grace, protection, revitalizing strength, and comforting love. We give thanks for this truth expressing, and so it is. Amen. Namaste.